One love. God bless. Fire Nelson here, and today I'm here to talk to you about energy vampires. So, what are energy vampires? You know, they come in many different ways, many different forms, many different, types of even events and situations. An energy vampire is something that is taking you and draining your energy from being able to be the best version of yourself, to be the person that you're spiritually trying to grow into. We have to realize that energy vampires comes in many different ways, and lots of times we don't see that situation or that person was an energy vampire until we take a step back and look at the situation from an outside perspective, or sometimes until it's too late. And my purpose of this video is for it to never be too late, for it to always be able to look at, be able to be looked at from an outside perspective, so that we don't even catch ourselves being caught in their snare, per se. We have to do the best that we can to realize when energy vampires are in front of us and avoid that situation or fix the situation if possible. So, like I said, energy vampires come in many different ways, shapes and forms, sizes, and we have to realize it's not always a person. It's not always just a situation. It's not always even an object. We have to realize that we don't always know exactly where our energy is being drained until we take that time to ourselves first and foremost and be honest with ourselves about what is hindering us, what is stopping us from being our best self. What do we find a lot of our attention being drawn to or being drained from that is making us not want to do the other things in our life that we know are going to only make our life better, that we know is only going to make us feel much success, much abundance, much wealth, mentally, physically, and spiritually. But for some reason, we're feeling hindered from doing these things. And most likely, if you have these same feelings, these same emotions, these same issues even, then it's because there's an energy vampire in your life. Now, for a lot of us, the biggest energy vampire is our phones. And I know it's sad to say because you're most likely watching this on a phone, but it's actually true. The biggest energy vampires are our phones, because even though, you're watching this and this may give you a lot of wisdom and inspiration and motivation, there's going to be 100 other recommended videos after this or before this or even in the middle of this that are going to distract you from being your true self, from being your best self. And it's up to you always to be aware and looking at the outside and being able to choose for yourself which path you're going to take. A path that leads to you just wasting time, wasting your energy, scrolling all day, watching stupid videos that you don't need to be watching. Are you going to binge watch TV and become a vegetable on your couch while you eat chips? So we have to realize that, yes, people and, certain trials or tribulations and situations are energy vampires, of course, but lots of times it's the own energy that we put into objects that are our own vampires. Sometimes man makes these objects knowing very well that it is going to dumb you down, that it is going to drain your energy, that's going to make you not want to even. That's the saddest part. It doesn't make you not want to chase your dreams. It's just that before you know it, 5 years, 10 years pass by and you've just been laughing, scrolling, wow, liking, commenting. And before you know it, all these years pass by and you've done nothing with your life, You've just been following the next funny celebrity, the next toxic celebrity, the next blue face, the next, whatever trending topic is going on. You've just been following until before you know it, you're like, where'd this whole year go? I'm sure you hear all the time, oh, I can't believe the year's almost halfway, the year's already halfway through. We always hear every single year, I feel like the year's going by so fast. I feel like the day went by so fast. I feel like this and that went by so fast. And yes, it's because a lot of us have obligations, and we have to work, and we have to, pursue different things, and, we have to take care of certain people and things like this throughout our day. So yeah, sometimes our day does feel like we only have 5 hours or, a few hours to ourselves to actually pursue our dreams and goals. But if you're always aware, you're always staying conscious, if you're always, truly in the knowing that you are blessed in every single moment and every single day, and life is a blessing and an opportunity for you to learn in different ways and different aspects, to love people in different ways and different aspects, and use the stuff that you learned in different ways and different aspects. If you're looking at life in these types of ways, in this positive type of way, then you're going to actually enjoy life longer, and the time is going to seem to expand. It's not about we don't have enough time. That's not it, because most of the time we aren't using the full amount of hours that we have. Yes, cut out 7 hours to sleep. We all need to do that. But we still should all have plenty of time to not only do our spiritual practice, but at least pursue a goal, at least put some effort towards a dream, at least an hour a day, 30 minutes a day even. It's the little things that add up. It's the brick by brick that before you know it, you have a whole house and a whole foundation, and you don't need to ever worry about building a house again. So we have to realize that lots of times our biggest energy vampires are our devices, our own devices, man-made devices. And once we are able to be more disciplined about how we use these devices, because of course we're going to still need to get some inspiration here and there throughout our days. Of course we're going to still want to maybe listen to some music throughout our days. Of course we're still going to want to, unwind right before bed, or hopefully not right before bed, but you want to unwind. Of course, sometimes you want to unwind with your, significant other and watch a little reality TV. But you want to start doing these things less and in a more healing way if you are doing them. Listen to some more positive music instead of music that is just trending and talking about, designer clothes and drugs and stuff like this. You want to listen to things that are going to uplift you. You want to eat things that are going to heal your body. You want to eat things that are actually nutritious for you. You want to watch things that are actually maybe informational, even a documentary. Learn some history about a crazy person. Whatever. You can still have your drama that we like to indulge in with these toxic TV shows, but why don't we at least watch a documentary? Why don't we at least watch an autobiography? Spend your time learning from others. Spend your time enhancing your wisdom and knowledge in any ways that you can. And spend your time trying to keep a higher positive vibration, and not one of fear, not one of, lack, not one of just useless consumption of man-made madness. So the biggest energy vampires are our own devices. And once you get over those, honestly, a lot of the other energy vampires that I'm going to talk about will just start to evaporate from your life, because that takes so much discipline. Getting away from these wicked devices. And the reason I say wicked is because it was written. Look up wicked devices in Bible, or just go to one of my last Bible studies, my Sunday services, and I talk about wicked devices in one of them. I forget which one, but I think it's like 2 weeks ago I talked about wicked devices. And this is exactly what they are. They're devices that take us away from our true self, our true center, that takes away from the Most High. I mean, it's proven that these devices are doing damage to us mentally, physically, and spiritually. They're causing mental illnesses. They're causing sleep illnesses. They're causing all different types of things that is tragic to the body, tragic to the mind, especially how we think, how we act. So get over these wicked devices, get over these things that we are constantly having connected to our hip, and you will have a lot more energy in your life for other things in your life. You will have a lot more time being expanded mentally, physically, and spiritually for other things in your life. So that's first and foremost. We have to get rid of these devices that are only hindering us. Then, I'm sorry, there's someone honking out there. It's going crazy. What in the world? See, this is what I'm saying. People are sick. Someone is laying their hand on their horn right now, right? Energy vampires. People are being drained by maybe some traffic outside, because I live in a city. And so people being drained by some traffic outside have no care in the world for the time of night it is right now, for the time of anybody trying to do anything right now. They don't care. All they care about is themselves, and that their energy is so drained that they just want to get to where they're going, to the point that they can't even think. And this is what society does. They don't care about other people. When people are drained of their energy, they don't care about other people. They don't care about people trying to sleep who've been working all day and being a kind person all day and meditating, this like that. They don't care about, how what they do affects others in any type of way, because they're not thinking clearly. When we're drained of our energy, that's when most mistakes happen. That's when we flip out the most. That's when we are easily led astray. See, this is what the society wants from us, though. And we have to realize this, and it's not in some conspiracy theory type of way. It's just, it is what it is. Society is based on the next man getting ahead of the next man. And that is not what the universe is based off of. Nobody is in a bigger rush than the next person unless they have a child to be delivered, unless they have a serious medical emergency. But the way that we think is that, oh, this thing is draining my energy, and you just are letting it, not realizing that you can just relax, take some breaths, and enjoy the music, and maybe just watch some videos like this while you're waiting in traffic. Some people don't think of life like this, and instead they let things drain their energy to the point where they're not thinking clearly or about others. And we never want to get into this state. So it's very important you're watching this, because you don't want to be like these people honking. So back to what I was saying, now they finally have, ceased. Well, I guess not. But back to what I was saying, we have to realize objects, of course, are the number one obstacles for us and the number one drainers when it comes to our energy. But the next thing is going to be people. Of course, people are going to be energy vampires all the time. Well, hopefully not all the time, but lots of the time, people are energy vampires and they don't even realize it. Lots of people will just, I guess, put on their baggage onto you would be a good way to describe it. They'll just unload amounts of information that you really don't ask for. And it's not even about them. See, if it was information about them, maybe you would have empathy. Maybe you would understand, and you could, see that they just need someone to talk to during that time. That's different, Yeah, people drain your energy when they do that as well, but it's different. It's you sacrificing your energy to help someone else. But 9 times out of 10, the way people talk and the way people drain our energy is they just They just talk about nonsense. Nothing productive, usually something negative. And if it's not just completely negative, then the basis is negative, The basis is gossipy. The basis is talking about this person that they don't even know. The basis is what this celebrity did, or this person online, or what this. I'm trying to think of other things to talk about other than things online, but this is usually all people talk about, and just other people that is in the environment. People tend to not really talk of real substance, not really talk of the mind, of the spirit, not really talk of some good scripture they heard, or some good quote they heard, or even compliment each other. We've lost our ways some way with this generation of technology, where we just don't have conversations that are actually meaningful, that are actually making us think, unless 9 times out of 10 people don't actually have a deep conversation about some philosophy about some philosophical. See, I can't say it. Philosophical type of things. They don't really talk about these type of things where it's going to make you think, it's going to make you actually expand your mind. We would rather talk about TikTok, or talk about what this person is doing, or what they did last weekend, or the vacation that they're about to go on. And this is all fine and, dandy, but there's so much out there. There's so much more growth to be done. And once we start becoming more spiritually awoken, and we start going on this path where we're doing these spiritual practices to strengthen ourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually, we'll notice more and more how disconnected we are from these conversations. We're disconnected from these people that constantly want to talk about this person and the other person. And we're starting to realize how much brain energy is taking just to listen 9 times out of 10. Because we don't want to hear it. We want to hear some positivity. We want to hear about the good that's happening in the world. We know what bad is happening in the world. And we don't know about this celebrity and that bad that they're doing. And we don't need to. We're somewhere else. We're in the truth of the divine light, the divine source. It's not that we're not worried about the bad that's happening in the world. It's just that it's not going to help the next man. It's not going to help the next woman. It's not going to help the next child if I'm telling them about all the bad in the world. If I'm going to them and I'm like, oh yeah, I can't be happy to you right now because this bad stuff is happening, and this bad person just got exposed for doing this, and there's bad people in the world. What do you think that child is gonna think? What do you think that next person who just needed a little pick me up that day so they wouldn't commit some heinous crimes? What do you think they're gonna think when they just needed a little, hope you have a good day, today's feeling blessed, how are you feeling? They just needed some enthusiasm, positivity. But when we get our energy drained from having so many conversations with people about these meaningless topics and such, it doesn't leave us enough energy to be that shining light that we could be. We have to tell these people sometimes, hey, I don't like to conversate about these things anymore. We have to, if not tell these people, then just distance ourselves from these people. Sometimes it's our own family that drain our energy and who are vampires, because our family expects so much from us sometimes, and we put so much worry and stress into our family when we know that they're not living aligned, that we can let it take over full capacity. But we have to know and truly understand that only the Most High can change, people for the better. We can only be an example. We can only be a helping shepherd to the Most High, the most masterful shepherd, We don't know the plan. All we can do is try to be an example and help when we can. We don't know the plan. All we can do is be an example and try to help when we can. We have to realize that our family, lots of times, will be stuck in their ways, and they're not looking for you to just blurt out a bunch of ways that they can help or this and that. And they will be stuck in their ways. And lots of times when we're on our journey, their ways that they're stuck in sometimes drain our energy, because they'll want to be, combative or toxic or just not supportive or just dramatic about things. Sometimes our family is just very dramatic about certain things. You're fasting, what? Like you're gonna hurt yourself. You're gonna, all types of things. So we have to realize in our journey and realize when we're starting to awake from the Maya, the illusion of Babylon, of this society that we live in, when we start to awake and start doing things differently, we have to treat people differently. We have to treat the people that are around us differently. We have to treat the conversations that we have differently and be patient with these people and not try to give your energy to change them. Leave that to the Most High. Just be the example. Lead, but don't call out, Whoever follows, follows. But just keep being that example and keep praying for them. Stay patient. We want them to be, awoken to the light within. We want them to be healing and eat healing foods and be doing healing things with their life. But sometimes our family isn't going to align with it when we align with it. But that doesn't mean that they just will never get there. It's just that sometimes they needed a light to be shining for long enough for them to see and realize, okay, that path is lit for me. I seen how far that person went. I see the blueprint they went because I see the light. I've seen it since day one when I doubted it and everything. And before you know it, one of these family members might be your biggest supporter, might be your best friend. I remember when I first started my journey, I wasn't super close with my family, but by the time I got a year in, I was closer than I ever been. So we have to realize that once we're honest and open with people, that they are more aware of what they do. Even if we don't say all this and that, hey, you need to do this, you need to change that, whatever. We don't need to say it sometimes. People start kind of shifting around you when they notice that your energy has shifted. So don't worry. But don't let these energy vampires in the form of people drain your energy so that you're honking, and disrupting everybody trying to relax. We want to always stay aware of our emotions, always stay aware of our temper, always stay aware of where our energy is being directed. And if we need to take time to fill it back up, take time to take some deep breaths, take time to go in nature, take time to meditate, take time to pray and build up that energy back up. Take time to eat some food, So when it comes to energy vampires, people and these devices are the ones that are going to be draining you the most often in your life. But of course, we all have a very big energy vampire that comes rarely, sometimes frequently, and that is the energy vampires of situations, where situations in our life seems like it's all just piling up. Sometimes we just get in a car accident and now we have to get a new car and figure out this and wait for the insurance to kick in and this. Sometimes we need a new roof. Sometimes we need a new place completely. Sometimes our dog needs to go to the vet. Sometimes we need to go to the hospital. Sometimes it seems like just things just add up. And it seems like the solution is so far out that you're just stressing about it all the time. But when you're stressing about a situation, does it really get solved? When you're worrying about a situation, does it get solved? Or when you actually put forth effort to solve the situation, does it get solved? When you actually go ahead and do the necessary steps, put down the down payment, do whatever you need to do, call the people you need to call, the repairman, the roof fixer, call the doctor, at least go to the urgent care. When you just start doing little steps here and there to fix the problem, we see that it doesn't drain us as much as just worrying about it and stressing about it does. See, situations are such energy vampires because we let it take over our whole life. A situation should stay just that, a situation over there, and this situation over there. Nobody else has to know about it. That is the biggest faulty thing of this society, is that if something happens to a person, they have to tell this person or that person, oh, you want to believe what happened to me? You want to believe this happened to me? You didn't hear about the story? I'm going to go tell them. Why are you telling everybody your problems? Do you know that there's some people who unconsciously just have a negative mind state? They don't mean anything malicious to you, but they're just thinking, oh, since that happened, then this bad thing probably going to happen to them, and they ain't going to figure this out and this and that, and that's going to be bad for them. They might do that. This is how some people's mind states go. And so now you have a bunch of people that hopefully they're wishing the best for you, but some maybe not. When you could have just kept it to yourself and just not stress about it at all. Now you have 5 people asking you, oh, how's this situation going? Oh, did you figure this out? And then now you're just constantly telling these people, oh, no, I haven't. I don't know what's going to happen. This is bad. We have to realize how we speak. We have to realize where we invest our energies. We have to realize how we don't need to invest our energy into a situation that is a one situation. Just keep it over there. Unless you're trying to work on solving that situation, you don't need to be talking about it and spreading the situation into a bigger wildfire than it needs to be. We don't need to kindle problems. We don't need to put more, sticks and logs and twigs and dry branches onto the fire. We already see us burning. We just need to figure out where the water's at. That's all. And the water is always there. The Most High is always there to to douse that fire, to make sure that you are safe, secure, and everything is solved in an appropriate manner, in the way that you are, acting. We get what we deserve 9 times out of 10. And if you feel like you're getting something that you don't deserve, make sure before you actually feel that way that you haven't done anything to not deserve that. And make sure as well, before you do anything, that you actually don't have a blessing that's manifesting around and through that. Sometimes situations that we think are a curse, situations we think are trials and tribulations, are really a blessing trying to manifest itself. But it's taking this situation for us to finally shake up and be like, okay, I'm ready for change. Sometimes it takes a big situation for us to really wake up and be like, oh, my life is actually perfect. My life is actually blessed. My life is amazing because I got through that situation where I thought I would never have gotten through. So we have to realize that situations only become an energy vampire when we let them, when we take the situation outside of what the situation is, when we're working on the situation in a worrying state, when we're working on the situation and we're not working on the situation. When we should be stressing about anything, it's because we are in the process of fixing it right then and there. We shouldn't be stressing about it when we're not doing anything. We're just laying in bed stressing about a situation. Why are you laying in bed stressing about your car needing to be fixed? It's over there. Keep it over there. Stay in the present. Stay where you are. And trust me, you will be at peace at all times. Serenity will be with you at all times. Bliss will be with you at all times. Energy vampires are only let in if you let them in. We have to keep a bubble around us of serenity. We have to stay in the present and stay aware when these energy vampires come in our path and just dodge around them. Just look at them in a different way. Circle back. Oh, I'm not figuring it out today. Today's too much of a stressful day already. Okay, I'll circle back tomorrow. Oh, this person is constantly talking about nonsense and gossip and about who they don't like and how their life is terrible. Okay, I'll give them a couple words of advice, but then I gotta put in my headphones. You know, there's things we can do to protect our energy without being rude, without being outlandish, without being aggravated, and, you know, we don't need to be mean, but we can make it very clear, hey, I'm not involved in this. Put your book, if you're reading your book and someone's coming up and talking to you, that don't mean you gotta close your book and put it down. Protect your energy. Don't be a pushover. Be your true self. Be a true example. Help when you can, but understand that only the Most High can really help. So, good luck on your journey, and hopefully you keep your energy high and away from these energy vampires of the physical, by devices and, different things like this, from people and from situations in life. So if you haven't, please subscribe, like, comment, share, and I appreciate everybody that's been doing that. And I really hope that you continue to grow and that we can continue to grow together and grow this community together, so we know that there's tons of people just like us that are trying to build their discipline and get off their phone and build their discipline and not look at situations in a negative way, and build their discipline and eat more healing foods and listen to more healing music and, embrace more healing, influencers and things like this. So let's continue to do what we're doing in our spiritual journey. Let's continue to grow mentally, physically, and spiritually through reading, through prayer, through meditation, through journaling, through yoga, and many more. And I wish you many blessings, and I appreciate all that watched this to the very end. One love.